You don't need a guru. For the year or so after my practitioner level Reiki attunement, I began developing distant Reiki as my business. I began by offering months and months of energetic exchange sessions, no cost sessions in exchange for testimonials, and began to hone my confidence for my practice. I was receiving incredible feedback and really loving the work I was able to do to help others. Then the world was hit with a global pandemic, and my Reiki Master Practitioner certification was postponed. As divine timing would have it, however, the originally scheduled date fell right in the middle of my time back home as my father passed. I wouldn't have been able to make it live in California anyhow. As the world began to migrate into completely digital models of business, the Reiki world was already well equipped. We had already been trained to practice and deliver Reiki remotely, so this transition was seamless and a breeze. After a few attempts to reschedule, my cohort of Reiki pals and our Reiki master agreed on an early summer date and made the decision that we were not going to let this pandemic dictate our purpose. Our services were needed more than ever, and we all agreed to meet virtually to continue along our path. I planned my departure from Arizona immediately following the completion of my Level 3 Master Practitioner certification, and boy, am I glad that I did. My experience in Levels 1 and 2 was all about activating this beautiful connection with the higher cosmos and beginning to explore breaking the molds of traditional healing and awareness. It lovingly cracked me open to the spiritual possibilities and kickstarted my journey to self-discovery. If my Level 2 attunement was a pillowy landing in the gymnastics foam pit, my Level 3 attunement was being dropped out of a skyscraper water slide in Las Vegas. You know, the ones where the floor completely drops out beneath you and you're plummeted down a chute, lose your bikini top, and get a whole bunch of water up your butt? That is how I would describe the integration of my Master Practitioner attunement. The actual attunement and training were incredible, gorgeous, and insanely powerful. But this was the point in the journey where shit got really real. We received the master symbols and wildly next-level tools and meditations, and the work we could now do as practitioners was quite miraculous. However, the spiritual process of becoming Reiki attuned is not only about what we can do for others. In fact, you don't have to work with others to go through the attunement process. It is, in and of itself, a deeply spiritual personal development experience. The process from Level 1 attunement to Reiki Master is all about your own personal journey back to our highest self. Should you choose to actively practice as a business is completely and solely up to everyone's path. On a personal level, Level 3 is all about the shadow work we each have to do in this lifetime. I believe that we each arrive here with a set of lessons and patterns to process and heal in this lifetime. We all have a different set of karmic experiences we are given to experience, and no two people's experiences are the same. Our curriculum for this lifetime is determined by our previous experiences and how we are here to learn and grow in this evolution of the human experience. While we all have individual curriculums, we are all in this universal schoolhouse called Earth. We receive the teachers and the relationships that we need along the way, but no one else can do this work for us. It is solely our responsibility to do the work. We can consciously or subconsciously choose not to do the work and continue our lives on the hamster wheel of what others have determined we should be doing, or we can break free from that matrix to fulfill our purpose and our path and not repeat this experience the next go-around. Every single experience that we have is guiding us back to our higher self and our purpose here in this lifetime. Every hurt, every success, every heartbreak, every jaw-dropping joy is a mirror reflecting the parts of ourselves that we need at that moment. As the late Ram Dass has famously said, we are all just walking each other home. As we all have masculine and feminine energies within us, we each also have light and darkness. The light is the version of ourselves that we share consciously with the world, and our shadow is the part of our personality that our ego unconsciously attempts to keep from existence. Just because we cannot see our shadow does not mean that it does not exist. When I speak about shadow work or doing the work, I am referring to the active process of bringing the unconscious darkness into the light. The shadow is not bad, evil, or dangerous. I believe it is the roadmap of the deepest work we are here to process in this lifetime. As psychologist Carl Jung has said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. In The Philosophical Tree, 1945, Jung writes, filling the conscious mind with ideal conceptions is a characteristic of Western theosophy, but not the confrontation with the shadow and the world of darkness. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. A man who is unconscious of himself acts in a blind, instinctive way, and is in addition fooled by all the illusions that arise when he sees everything that he is not conscious of in himself coming to meet him from outside as projections upon his neighbor. Each experience that we have in this lifetime is merely a mirror being held up, reflecting the projections of what we are here to process. Our shadow reflects us in ways that we may call fate, what triggers us, what harms us, and what continues to cycle through as patterned behaviors and experiences. The fastest and easiest way to check in with our shadow is to examine our intimate relationships. If shadow work is new to you, I encourage you to look at the patterns of your past relationships. Are you constantly attracting the same partner over and over? Are you experiencing the same trauma or heartbreak over and over? This pattern is an indication of work that needs to be done. This can only be achieved by each individual when they become willing to do the work. Until then, we continue informing the universe to please give us more of the same experiences until we are willing to open our eyes to see the truth. If the concept of shadow work is triggering or terrifying to you, this is a message that says your soul is ready to continue this work. We are triggered most by the work we are now ready to do within ourselves. At this point in the book, if the words I am lovingly delivering to you are triggering, I am thrilled for you. That tells me that you are approaching the point of willingness. I love you and honor you as you begin to see yourself in the mirror. It is a safe space here, but you must be willing. And it takes what it takes to arrive at willingness. You will continue to be guided to your shadow until you are ready to get off the hamster wheel. While it may seem scary every time, trust me when I say the peace and serenity that comes along with this work is well worth the price of admission. If you are in the phase of spiritual work or personal development that I like to call addicted to collecting tools, where you jump from one self-help book to the next, or from one coaching program after another, please take a deep breath and hear what I'm about to say. You do not need another guru. The guru is already inside of you. You already know the path. It is your job now to stop collecting other people's tools and actually do the work. If this stings to hear or leaves you flabbergasted that I could call you out in such a way, then this is your message. It is time to break the patterns. The buck stops here. You have all that you need at this moment, and it is time. Go forth and shine, my friend. It is time to do the work. This is the unraveling. This is the work of peace. This is the great remembering. Whatever you want to call it, this is the work.